let's talk a new application in OLAP main. Uh, and this application called Relationship Analyzer. This is a small app that will construct a graph and perform graph analysis on your provided data. So you get to OLAP main, click on this app to launch it, and to start, you will need to upload a data file, and it can be a CSV, TSV, Excel, or any graph data file. So in this demo, we're going to upload a FedRAMP authorization log sample data that is available publicly on GitHub. So after the data was loaded, you will see a sample data table here. And to plot, to work with the relationship analyzer, first we need to identify how many relationship pair types we want to specify. So if we look at the data preview, we see that each CSP cloud service provider has a unique FedRAMP ID here. And for the first relationship, we look at the leverage system relationship. So basically, what it says here is these are the CSP. You see the FedRAMP IDs here represent cloud service providers. This cell, for example, is saying that these cloud service providers leverage this CSP. So that's the first pair. And then a potential second pair of relationship is the relationship between a CSP and the agency that was authorized to use that CSP services. So for example, with the Akamai here, the Akamai CSP, we have the United States Census Bureau, the GSA, and the IRS using the cloud service from Akamai. So those are the two relationships, and to specify that, first we need to specify the count. So here we're gonna analyze a graph of two types of relationships. So we specify two. And the specification for pair one, so a relationship, we have a from node and a to node. So the from node here, which is by default is FRID, so that is correct. And for the to node, we're gonna select leverage systems. So these are the name of the columns we see above here. So the first pair of relationship is between the FedRAMP ID and the leverage system. And the delimiter we're gonna declare here. And the reason for that is in the leverage system, you see that each ID was separated by the vertical bar from another FedRAMP ID. So with that, and then the alias. So the alias is for the case like this. So like if we specify the FedRAMP ID here, the node name gonna be these values, but these values is not from user friendly. So we're gonna map the FedRAMP ID with the actual name of the cloud service provider. So that's the meaning of the alias selection. So we can either specify the alias name from the existing dataset if the alias exists in the existing dataset. If not, we can upload a separate file that maps the one field to its alias. In this case, we just because the alias already exists in the data, we're gonna select columns from data, And here we're going to say the alias for the FRID number going to be the CSP column. So as we make changes above, the graph going to be automatically updated below. But before we check the graph, let's specify the second pair. So the second pair is between the CSP and the agency authorization. And separator is also the vertical bar. All right, let me double check. Yep, agency authorization. And we don't need to use alias for this one because we already used the explicit names. Okay, so this is the graph of all those relationships, and it's really noisy. So the filters, you can use the filters here for filtering out the nodes. So for example, the degree here is basically saying by 50, we're going to say only display the node that has more than 50 relationships with others. So it's gonna, leave out all the nodes that has less than 50, and that makes the graph much more simple. And you're gonna do the same with the other metrics. The details and meaning of the other metrics will be explained, documented, and explained in the application documentation. And by adjusting the metric, you will see different, sets of nodes popping up for your investigation. So let's just say, let's move to 50, 55. So these are the graph for this filter. And you will see that with this filter, and let's say with Amazon and Microsoft, the relationship of Amazon and Microsoft with the federal government that has minimum degree of 55 is with the GSA, the Department of Agriculture, and Department of Veteran Affairs. And of course, there are also a few more CSP that support the relationship. So one of the support relationship is Qualys right here. So Qualys actually has relationship with Cisco system and does not have direct relationship with any U.S. government agencies at this, filter level, and instead it supports Cisco, and then Cisco has relationship with the VA, the Department of Agriculture, and the GSA. So there are many ways to derive insight from these metrics, and hope this application help you in understanding the complex relationships among the data in your data set.